Peace, peace, black people. Welcome to We Are Our Ancestors, the Jelly Moose's Cafe, your Mima's World, whatever you want to call it. I am your Mima, your hostess, and it is always good to be black in the land of the living once again. It is Sunday morning, and if you are making your way to your services today or making your way from your services, I hope you have a wonderfully blessed Sunday. May the Most High and your ancestors give you blessings upon blessings. Again, I want to reiterate that if you are going out to brunch after your early services, please, please, please support Black restaurants. Remember back in the day, back in the 60s and 70s, we didn't go out to restaurants after church services. We went to somebody's house. A lot of times it was our own house, and the soul food that came out of those kitchens were just as good. We also used to have plate suppers back in the day, whether we were raising money for the church or for someone. We had plate suppers, and we would spend $10, $15 on plates that came out of someone's black kitchen that was made by black hands and given to you with black love. And so I want to reiterate again, please support black restaurant businesses. Those other businesses that you support don't need your support. They are doing well. We do need to support our black businesses. I'm going to come up off my soapbox now. All right, it is Hoodoo Sunday, and I welcome you again to my space. For some reason, recently, I have been living in the energy of the 70s. I don't know why. I've been dreaming about my childhood friends from the 70s. I've been dreaming about my childhood church from the 70s. I had a dream, I sound like Martin. I had a dream that we went back to my childhood church, and we were having a anniversary of the choir, and all of the old choir members were there, and we were getting ready to march into the church because we were having a celebration, an anniversary celebration of the choir. And then I just kept dreaming about the church, and I don't know why. And then when I woke up this morning, the ring shout was on my mind. Now, we never did the ring shout in the church that I was growing up in. I believe my mother's church, when she was growing up, did something similar. They may not have called it the ring shout, but I do distinctly remember her saying that the old folks used to shuffle their feet around in a circle. So they did do something to that effect. I didn't know growing up that's what that was. Unfortunately for me, I didn't learn about a lot of this history until I got older, and those that I needed to ask questions of had long passed away. And so I really implore you to really sit with people who are elderly in your family and talk to them about when they were little. Some of us don't have people in our lives that can teach us these things now. My big brother often tells me about things growing up, and I love to visit my auntie who is almost 90, and she loves to talk about things growing up. And so whenever I go home to visit, I always stop to visit her, not for that, just for that reason, but I just want to be in her presence because I absolutely love and adore her. All right, so let's talk about the ring shout. The ring shout is still very significant to African Americans and Africans in the diaspora. So let's give the history of it first. And I wanted to read it, and then I'll elaborate on some things. But the ring shout is a significant African American cultural tradition that has a lot of meanings. And one of the meanings is community. It was a way for enslaved people from different West African regions to communicate with each other and to build community. Um, as well as hoodoo. So definitely that hoodoo aspect is definitely in the ring shout. Because our ancestors came here, they were from different parts of Africa, and They spoke different languages. They had different names for the Most High. They may have reverenced their ancestors in different ways. And so this ring shout was a way for them to be in community with each other and to find a commonality to fight their oppressors. Of course, it was resistance. It was a way for them to transform Christianity into a religion of liberation and connection to their ancestors. Our ancestors never stopped honoring their ancestors. It was a way for them to stay connected to Africa, was to honor the spirit of their ancestors. If they did, and you will see now that because we have cut off that reverence, that connectedness to our African ancestors, we're not doing so well. Africans in this country, right after emancipation, were doing remarkably well. That's when we had all of our black communities that were built. We had black communities that were built out of nothing, and we were still honoring our ancestors. All right, we move on. It is a cultural heritage. The ring shout is a living tradition that connects generations through shared spiritual experiences. The Gullah Geechee people still do the ring shout. Down in Georgia, they still have ring shouters. So, in a lot of churches in the country, they may not call it that because they don't want to be associated with that stuff from Africa. So they may not call it the ring shout, they may call it the circle dance, or they may just do the formation and call it Christianity. And it is, it's a part of Black Christianity. All right, moving on. Ancestral roots. The ring shout is a reminder of ancestral roots and a way to promote unity and collective identity. Again, it was a way for us to come together as a community, whether we were Igbo, whether we were Yoruba, whether we were Balanta, whether we were Tuareg, whether we were Maasai, whether we were Benin from Benin, whether we were uh, from Togo, wherever we were from, um, we had a way to communicate and to honor our ancestors and promote unity again to fight our oppressors. Everything that we did was to resist and fight. Everything that we did when we got here was to resist and honor our ancestors and fight the oppressor. Everything. Also, a spirit baptism. The ring shout is a testimony to the shouters that felt the sense of spirit baptism or sanctification. A lot of people back in the day, before we had baptismal pools in churches, they would have ring shouters to shout around the baptismal pool because they were calling down the spirit before the baptism would happen. My mother was and her siblings were baptized in a river. Me and my siblings were baptized outdoors. We didn't have a baptismal pool in the church that I attended. So we all got baptized outside. And a lot of times the ring shouters or the singers would walk around the baptismal pool um, in a counterclockwise, as my mother would say, a counterclockwise way in order to call down spirit. It's a fusion of African dance. It's a fusion of African rituals, a fusion of songs, and Christianity, the Christianity that originated within us during slavery in the United States. There's a call and response. We know that every Black church, well, used to be, but nowadays the Black church ain't what it used to be. But back in the day, the Black church always had a call and response. When the choir sang, there was a call and response in the singing. You didn't have just one person singing. You would have the lead person singing, they would do the call, and then the rest of the choir would do the response. That is how we have always done it as Black people, as Africans. That's what we've always done. Everything, again, we do is intentionality, reverence for the Most High, and the spirit of our ancestors. And so that is the ring shout. That is today's Hoodoo Sunday. Get up and dance with your ancestors. It's cold here, so I ain't gonna be dancing outside with them today because it's cold. But dance in your living room. Dance the ring shout right in your own home with your ancestors. And I promise you, watch you conjure the spirit of your ancestors. And they will come down, and I promise you, they will dance with you. On Sunday mornings, I always play gospel music for my ancestors that were here in the diaspora. But when I want to go back a little further, for those who uh, were first Africans in this country, I'll go back and I will play some egungun music, some music of honor the ancient ancestors, those from Africa. I'll play those drums that they were used to hearing. Um, before they were forced here. So play some music for your ancestors today. Do some ring shout, do some African call and response. Whatever it is, honor your ancestors today. That's it, y'all. That's the ring shout. I hope you enjoyed the service. Uh, Usher, the doors of the church are open. Go ahead and move among God's people and give. I'm just playing. All right, so until next time, people, you know the drill. Love yourself, love each other, give each other some grace, give yourself some grace. It is a new year. It is 2025. Happy New Year to everyone. I didn't really need a new year. I would have settled for a gently used year. 2001 would have been a great year for me to use again. It was a wonderful year. Had all my family was intact. I was single again, and it was a really, really great year. So yeah, I didn't need a new year. I could have taken a gently used year. But again, happy new year. Love yourself, love each other, give yourself some grace, give others some grace. Honor your ancestors. I promise you, they will honor you. Stay black, stay hot, stay warm, stay cold, stay cool wherever you are. Again, it is freezing here. They're calling for snow in Virginia. I don't know if we're going to get any. I hope that we do not, but hey, Mother Nature, who's going to check them? Until next time, peace, family.